on the Obama legacy.
Yes.
One brick at a time and sometimes a wall at a time. Donald Trump's the oldest and the richest man to ever live in the White House.
Amen.
He's got the most beautiful wife and most well-behaved wife that ever lived in the White House.
Amen.
Amen.
Her parents must be amazed at where their daughter is living today. Donald Trump, in his movement toward the presidency, defined the talking points or the agenda for the entire 2016 presidential election. Single-handedly defined the agenda for everybody running in both parties.
Yep. Sure did.
Nobody was able to take away, and not many people added anything to it because they were too busy trying to figure out how to adapt themselves to this wild man from New York.
Amen.
This guy that didn't seem to be conforming to any rule of political elitism.
Thank God.
Elitism.
Amen.
And so Donald Trump, as he plowed through 16 candidates and completely decimated the Bush dynasty,
Thank God.
spending less money than many of his opponents,
Amen.
money out of his own pockets, one of the very few men in American history that ever funded their own primary campaign.
Amen.
Asked nobody for money in his primary campaign and was not beholden to anybody.
Amen.
Nobody owned Donald Trump when he got into the White House.
Amen.
They didn't pay his way there.
Yeah.
He charges $1 a year for serving this people.
Amen.
God only knows the brutality that that man undergoes to earn that $1.
Yeah.
Now, Donald Trump, on his way to the White House, did something that I don't know anybody that has been able to do this. Third parties have never been very successful in this country. Teddy Roosevelt was not successful with third party. Donald Trump didn't fool around with the third party. One of the very earliest debates, they were worried that he was going to jump ship from the Republican Party. He's one of the only few that didn't jump ship
Yes.
in the final end. But he did something remarkable. He took an existing, established political party and carved out his own party out of it. He turned it into the Trump Republican Party, leaving the rhinos, the elitists, the Edomite Jewish bankers, and all the national news media gasping with their hearts palpitating at the audacity of Donald Trump to commandeer the Republican Party and take it away from the establishment.
That's right.
What a shameful act that was. You know the rest of that story. In the American presidency of 2006, the American presidential race of 2016, a little more than 65 million Americans, many of them white, many of them professing Christians, rejected Donald Trump and voted for Hillary.
Shame.
More than 65 million. Remember I said that one of the signs of the final end of a nation is when they reject the messenger.
Amen.
Donald Trump said, let's build a wall, let's seal our borders, let's get rid of all of the criminals that are pouring into this country with their drugs. Let's stop this vicious trade imbalance. And the list goes on and on and on. You know what he said. It turned the political establishment upside down on their heads.
Hallelujah.
Because they couldn't handle Donald Trump.
Amen.
Just this crude, rude, crass guy that used language that I didn't always approve of, and I remember the time when my mother would have washed his mouth out with soap. Nonetheless, he didn't grow up with Lucy. Now, Donald Trump did not win 65 million Americans' votes. But he did win about that same number of votes.
Yeah.
And the country's been totally divided ever since.
Yes.
And tonight, this country is more divided
Amen.
than it's ever been since the Great Civil War.
Amen. Yes.
And if the Democrats have their way, there will be a civil war.
Yeah.
Because they've got to destroy all the white conservative voters of this country. Now, Hillary won the popular vote. You know that.
Yeah.
But she won it because she got all the votes of the illegal population
Yes.
in New York and California.
Yeah.
Should I said California.
Yeah.
She cheated.
Donald Trump is president only because of the far-sighted vision of our founding fathers who said that the winning victor in a presidential election must gain a majority of the electoral college votes.
Yeah.
God for that.
Donald Trump won 85% of the land mass of America.
Amen.
Only the liberal
Yeah.
corridors on the east and west coast voted for Donald Trump.
That's right.
And the interior cities that are dominated by Democratic strongholds.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the list to oppose Donald Trump, and you know it.
Yep.
Everybody on the left. And a lot of people on the right opposed him.
Yep.
There are still never Trump people living under the illusion that somehow the Republicans will get rid of this guy and go back to the old ways. And so today, beloved, every means short of outright assassination is being used to destroy the only president that in my lifetime has welcomed pastors inside the White House to lay their hands on him and pray for him.
Amen.
Yes.
I don't know a president that has allowed that.
Amen.
I don't know of another president that addressed the pro-life rally. Most of them just said that they're goodwill or representatives. Donald Trump waited out there and just took on the world and let the whole world know
Amen.
that he's pro-life.
Yeah.
I think God has raised up an unusual person, church.
Yes. Amen.
But I think there's far too many Americans that are too proud to be willing to acknowledge that God has given America a reprieve
Yes.
by one man who has not only shook a nation, but he has turned the world upside down, single-handedly,
Yes.
with a Senate full of rhino Republicans,
Yeah.
spineless Republicans. They have consistently joined with the obstructionist Democrats
Amen.
to stop this president in every way they can.
Amen.
The deep state operatives have done everything they could do but destroy this man, short of assassination, and they've thought plenty about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You realize that Donald Trump has reformed NATO. He has canceled America's participation in the Pacific Trade Partnership. He's renegotiating the entire NAFTA treaty
Yes.
right now.
Amen.
He has pulled us out of the Paris Peace Accord.
Praise God.
He has scrapped the nuclear treaty made with Iran.
Amen.
And Obama nearly had a heart attack over that. He stopped the rocket man from firing missiles and scaring the Japanese every other day.
Amen.
All right. Yeah.
Amen.
He sent arms into the Ukraine to say to Putin, now look, don't get too anxious to gobble up the countries that used to belong to the old Russian Soviet Empire. I'm Donald Trump. The man's in the White House. Trump tonight has placed China on notice.
Good.
Billions and billions of trade imbalance dollars are slipping away for the very first time since China joined the World Trade Organization.
Yeah.
Because Donald Trump is going to put a tariff on every Chinese, almost all the goods made in China.
Good.
They're now going to pay a tariff to come in here to Walmart.
Amen.
Now, I always tell that greeter at Walmart, he greets me and says, welcome. I say, oh yeah, I'm back in Chinatown. But I pray that one of these days I can walk into Walmart and find made in the USA.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if that's going to happen. It will if Trump lives long enough.
Amen.
Donald Trump has shook up almost every foreign leader on this planet.
Good.
And I'm going to tell you, they say that he's hated and despised. But when he was in the United Nations this week in New York, while we're holding this festival, Donald Trump delivered what I believe might go down in history as the most pro-American nationalist speech ever delivered by an American president. When he declared that the sovereignty of this country would never be surrendered to the United Nations.
Hallelujah. Amen. About time.
America first, last and always, was his theme. Everything I do is going to be for America.
Amen.
I mean no ill to anyone else, but I'm serving America, not the world.
Amen.
He even denounced globalism.
Good.
I'm sure George H. and George W. must have had a case of indigestion. They probably went and bought every packet of Tums in Texas. They're the globalists of all global.
Amen.
Donald Trump has given a rebirth to millions of disillusioned Americans.
Amen.
The electricity in his rallies is unbelievably amazing. Thousands pack his stadiums in spontaneous rallies that are held just real quickly. And thousands will camp outside the arena where he speaks. Now I want to warn this congregation. Jeremiah 17 warns us not to trust in the arm of flesh.
Amen.
Don't be disillusioned or misguided by Donald Trump.
Yes.
Donald Trump is God's messenger, and Donald Trump has done more to stop abortion with his hands tied by a Republican do-nothing Congress,
Amen.
Senate and House, by obstructionist Democrats. Donald Trump has single-handedly, with a presidential machete, dismantled Obama's legacy. He has scuttled more government regulations in his 2 years than all the presidents that have preceded him in history.
Amen.
He has unyoked the energy fields of America.
Yes.
This is an incredible man.
Yes.
But I don't believe very many Americans are praying that much for Donald Trump.
Sad.
I don't know if Donald Trump's a converted man. Now, there are people who claim that Donald Trump has been on his knees and confessing his sin. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I know that 81% of all the evangelicals in America voted for him in 2016. And according to some pastors down in the South, they claim that 90% of the evangelicals are now on board the Trump train. Now, the Democrats are calling for a blue wave. They believe there's going to be a blue wave. The reason they're trying to obstruct and halt, impede the having a confirmation is because they want to come into the midterms and win the House, win the Senate, and stop Donald Trump dead in his tracks from ever nominating a Supreme Court justice unless he is liberal or she is liberal, because they will hold all the power. Now they're going to have every Democrat that breathes, and a lot of them that are deceased, going to the polls. And they're going to have George Soros paying the money to the illegals in California and New York, to go to the polls. Go to the polls. Obama and his, or she or he, whoever she is, Michelle, is out there campaigning for the president, for the Democrats. Obama's campaigning for it. Folks, do you realize tonight that Donald Trump is the only voice trying to rally the Republican Party?
Yes.
This man is single-handedly trying to bring this country to sense. I don't know how many people are praying for him, but you will not be able to pray enough
Amen.
and hard enough
Hallelujah.
to please God
Yes. Amen.
for this man.
Amen.
So I encourage you. I encourage you not to reject the messenger.
Amen.
I haven't heard Donald Trump call us to repentance,
Yes.
but at every rally,
Amen.
there are prayers being made.
Amen.
There are words being used. God is being exalted.
Amen.
Amen.
And there are packed out crowds of 99.99999% white people.
Amen.
Yeah, he's been called a white supremacist. He's been labeled by every label that you can't think of a label that has not been placed on Donald Trump. I ask you, at the age of 72, and you're a billionaire, and you can play golf in Scotland at your own golf course, or you can go to Mar-a-Lago down in Florida and play your golf, or you can go to several others. What is Donald Trump doing? At age 72, the sun is setting on Donald Trump's life. How much family time is Donald Trump spending? How much time does he spend with Melania? He's got a 10-year-old son, Barron, that he probably barely sees. Donald Trump is giving his soul to this country.
Yes.
That's what he's doing.
Yes.
He's the most energetic,